A Flint man now convicted of criminal mischief at a place of worship takes a plea deal for 1 year in jail. Good evening and thank you for being with us. 37-year-old Jordan Clark pleaded guilty to vandalism that left the Jesus statue outside St. Mary's Magdalene Church without hands or a nose back in September. KLTV7's Alex Weister spoke today with Father James Rowland after the verdict and tells us why they will be repairing that statue differently.
It's been nearly 3 months since this Jesus statue was vandalized at St. Mary Magdalene's Catholic Church in Flint. Today, the man charged with the vandalism has been sentenced.
Well, I'm kind of feeling, in one sense sad, in one sense somewhat satisfied. Justice is running its course.
Jordan Clark was charged with criminal mischief following a September 7th incident that left the statue with no hands or nose, a condition the statue remains in today.
I'm hoping that that this man, with all his issues, will receive the help that he really needs.
Following Clark receiving a year in jail, the church feels that they are able to move on and start to rebuild.
It came to a close pretty quickly after the arrest, so I'm rather pleased now that we can move beyond this chapter.
Pastor Rowland says it will take time, but he's confident that the church's statue will one day return to its glory following the repairs.
It will have the marks and the scarring will still be visible at a closer inspection, but it will look from where we are like a new statue.
Along with a permanent reminder of what they went through.
We will be adding a plaque to the base of the statue that on this date the statue was vandalized by an individual who was psychologically and spiritually afflicted, and we invite prayers for all people that are so afflicted.
Alex Weister, KLTV7 News.
Clark will get credit for roughly 3 months of time already served in jail. Father Rowland hopes to have progress made when it comes to statue repairs next month.